Absolutely. Here is your full 20-minute cinematic script crafted in the Feynman-inspired physics meets philosophy style you requested. Hashtag what really happens when you die? Feynman on atoms, energy, and life. You've probably imagined it, the moment, the last breath, the silence, the question hanging in the air. What happens next? Do you drift into darkness? Do you wake up somewhere else? Do you simply vanish? Most people want one of two answers. Either something magical happens or nothing happens. But what if I told you both of those answers miss the real story? Because from the perspective of physics, from the perspective of atoms and energy, something extraordinary happens when you die. Not mystical, not supernatural, but astonishing, and maybe even more beautiful than the stories we've been told. Let's start with something bold, maybe even arrogant. You are not a thing, you are a process. Right now, as you're watching this, trillions of chemical reactions are happening inside you. Atoms are rearranging, molecules are colliding, energy is flowing. You are less like a statue and more like a flame. Think about a candle flame. Is the flame a thing or is it an event? The wax melts, the vapor rises, oxygen reacts, light emerges. The flame exists only because matter and energy are flowing through it. Now here's the uncomfortable question. When the candle runs out of wax, where does the flame go? It doesn't go anywhere. The process simply stops. That's the first key idea. Death in physics is not something traveling somewhere. It is a process ending. Now here's where it gets interesting. Physics has a rule, a stubborn, uncompromising rule. The first law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed ever. The energy powering your thoughts right now, it came from sunlight. Plants captured photons, animals ate the plants, you ate the food. Solar energy became chemical energy. Chemical energy became electrical signals in your brain. So when you die, that energy does not disappear. The electrical activity stops, the organized flow collapses, but the energy, it dissipates as heat into the environment. The atoms, they remain. Every carbon atom in your body was forged in a star billions of years ago. When you die, those atoms do not vanish. They return to soil, to air, to oceans, to other life. You don't escape the universe, you rejoin it. Now let's zoom in. At the microscopic level, nothing dramatic happens at death. Atoms don't scream, electrons don't explode, quarks don't mourn. They keep obeying the same equations they've always obeyed. The electromagnetic force still pulls, quantum fields still fluctuate, gravity still curves space-time. The laws do not blink, but at the macroscopic level, at the human level, something enormous happens. The pattern collapses. And this is everything, because you are not your atoms. You are the pattern those atoms are arranged in. Imagine a deck of cards, shuffle it. You get one arrangement, shuffle again, another arrangement. Each arrangement is made of the same 52 cards, but the order matters. Your brain is like a deck of 1,027 cards, except the cards are atoms, and the arrangement is unimaginably specific. When you die, the cards don't disappear. They simply lose their order. Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen an ice cube spontaneously assemble itself from warm water? No? Why not? Because of entropy. Entropy is often described as disorder, but that's too simplistic. It's about probability. There are vastly more ways for water molecules to be arranged randomly than in the precise crystalline structure of ice. So, statistically, ice melts. Now apply this to life. Life is low entropy. Your body maintains structure, order, information, but it doesn't do this for free. You constantly consume energy to fight entropy. You eat, you breathe, you metabolize. You are waging a temporary rebellion against the universe's natural drift toward equilibrium. Death is the moment that rebellion ends, not because something attacks you, but because maintaining order requires energy flow, and when that flow stops, entropy wins. Imagine a sealed box filled with gas. The molecules bounce randomly. Eventually, they spread evenly. Now, imagine. Somehow, all the gas molecules gather perfectly in one corner. Possible, yes, likely, practically zero. Life is like that improbable corner. You are an extraordinary concentration of order in a universe that prefers spread. Death is not punishment, it is not failure. It is statistical inevitability. The laws of physics don't say no because they're cruel. They say no because probability dominates. You might say, but life is more than physics. Is it? Biology is chemistry. Chemistry is physics. There is no extra force hiding in your cells, no secret life particle. Your neurons fire because ions move. Ions move because of electromagnetic forces. Those forces are described by equations we test in laboratories every day. Now here's another misconception. What if we preserve the body perfectly? Freezing, mummification, cryonics. The problem isn't the atoms, it's the pattern degradation. Once the dynamic process stops, microscopic noise, thermal motion, quantum fluctuations, begins eroding structure. You are not a static sculpture. You are a symphony being played. And if the music stops long enough, the orchestra disbands. Remember the candle flame? Here's something fascinating. You can light another candle from the first. The original flame continues. A new flame begins. The pattern propagates. In a way, life does this too. Through reproduction, through culture, through memory, through ideas. Your atoms disperse, but your influence, it propagates through other minds, just like flame to flame. But eventually, even stars burn out, even galaxies fade. On cosmic timescales, entropy dominates everything, which brings us to the uncomfortable truth. The universe is about 13.8 billion years old. For billions of years, there was no life, just hydrogen, gravity, fusion. Then stars forged heavier elements. Planets formed, chemistry grew complex. Eventually, atoms arranged themselves into something that could ask, what happens when I die? That's you. You are the universe becoming aware of itself. And awareness is rare, not impossible, not magical, but statistically extraordinary. Death does not erase the miracle that you happened. It makes it sharper, because temporary things are precious. Here's the pivot. If you were immortal, if entropy never caught you, if the pattern never dissolved, would this moment matter? Imagine watching a movie that never ends, a song that never resolves, a day that never finishes. Meaning emerges because of limitation. The fact that your pattern is temporary is not a flaw. It's the reason it matters. A sandcastle is beautiful precisely because the tide will erase it. A sunset is powerful because it fades. Your life is a temporary pocket of order carved out of cosmic chaos. That fragility is not depressing. It is astonishing. Let's summarize with brutal clarity. When you die, your brain's electrical activity stops. The organized flow of energy ceases. Entropy increases. The pattern dissolves. Your atoms redistribute into the environment. There is no evidence in physics of a detachable energy soul escaping the body. But there is also no annihilation. Nothing is destroyed. Matter transforms. Energy disperses. Information degrades. You do not step outside the universe. You remain fully inside it, just rearranged. Let me ask you something. Is it more meaningful to be an immortal spectator or a brief luminous event in cosmic history? For a few decades, atoms that were once inside stars became you. They formed memories, love, fear, curiosity. They formed this moment, and one day they will form something else, a tree, a cloud, another human, maybe even another mind asking the same question. Death is not the universe rejecting you. It is the universe recycling you. You are not separate from nature. You are a temporary pattern nature makes. And maybe that's enough. So here's the question I want you to wrestle with. If your life is a brief rebellion against entropy, what will you do with the time your pattern holds? What meaning will you create before the cards reshuffle? Tell me in the comments, because for now, against overwhelming odds, you're here, and that is extraordinary.